Hey guys, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well today. It was pretty rainy. It was like a flood day. Um, I wanted to get on here as soon as I was thinking about what this video is going to be about. It's actually the second half of a dream I had about Kansas, but as soon as I looked down at my clock to come do this, it was 11:11. It was so crazy. Um, or I had a video about a dream. If you go look at it, I think it was in the summer. It says you're not in Kansas anymore, and I'm talking about a dream I had. Okay, and I only told the beginning of it, but the second part of it is like been in my forefront of my mind for a few days. So I felt like it was pretty important to bring up. There's a lot of stuff I've been thrown back and forth in my mind about just stuff in my life. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, so if you go watch that video, I'm talking about how I'll just go over it again and then I'll tell you the second part. But I was in my dream, I was an adult, right? Like at this house in Kansas. I don't know if it was the state of Kansas, Kansas, Missouri, but I was at this house in Kansas and there was like a family reunion or like some kind of gathering. There were like people eating and there was like a cookout maybe, people swimming, like laughing, talking, socializing, right? I didn't know any of the people, but I was there as an adult. And I went into the living room and there was like a picture window, a huge window, but it had like a thick curtain over it. It was almost like really heavy. It was like maybe like a brownish velvety type curtain, okay? But it was so thick that it like covered the light in the room. So it was pretty dark in there, but I mean you could obviously see somebody standing, right? Like because there were other windows in the house and other places in the house that were light. So I was standing there and I was like, where am I at? And this guy that looked like a mixture of Christopher Walken and Robert Duvall, it was like an older guy, right? And I was like, where am I at? And he's like, you're in Kansas. Okay. And while I was standing there looking at this guy, like in his eyes as an adult, I flashed back to something that was an event that happened, prior, like years prior, maybe as a child or something, of something that happened upstairs in that house. I don't know what the event was. Obviously, the Lord is protecting my mind from that. But anyway, but there was some event because it flashed back to like what the floor looked like. The only thing in the room was a dresser and a bed. Okay. And it had wooden floors. The dresser was like wooden. I don't know, but as I was looking at this older guy in the eyes, I flashed back to like that scenario of like the upstairs room, okay? So the second half of the dream that's been on my forefront of my mind for the past few days is the second half of the dream. I was a kid at that house, okay? I was a young kid, like I want to say younger, like 5 or something. I don't know. Obviously old enough to run, walk by myself, talk, you know what I mean, like know stuff. But so the second half of the dream is me leaving like the back door of that house. It was a white house that had like a deck, and it wasn't where the pool was or anything. But it was me leaving that back door, like kind of creeping out. And as I'm leaving that door, I see there's like a little mini barn, and there was like a chain link fence right there, kind of like a dog cage, maybe, right? But there was this little boy that was like the same age as me. He had like short blonde hair, blondish brown. I want to say he had like a little gap in his teeth. But he was crouched down next to the barn, like in front of this fence, right? Like crouched down, like he had also escaped this house or like left this back door. It was so weird. So I get over, I see him, and as I see him, I like run down to where this fence is, the little mini barn, which you can see it right from the deck, right? It's like if you were trying to hide from people in the house, it would have been stupid because they could look out the window and see you. But anyway, so I go down there and I crouch down next to him. Like it was almost like a fearful feeling of it was like panic for both of us. It was so weird. It was almost like when he looked at me and I looked at him, it was almost like, oh, you made it. It was kind of strange. So we're crouched down there, and I don't know what we're looking for, but a few seconds later, we like we take off running, and we're like running, away from the house, away from this mini barn. And it's like there was peat gravel, and there was like a bigger barn or a garage or something. Like it wasn't attached to the house, it was almost like on a driveway. And so we like take off running, me and this little boy. And as we're running, like behind me, I hear this truck like revving up and a gun shooting off. And it was like 3 or 4 men in a truck, two in the front and two in the back, like in the bed of the truck. And it was almost like maybe a junkyard type scene right there where they were driving, because their truck was like, I want to say it was like a red, kind of like an S10, like not an S10, it was like a Dodge Dakota, or it was like what is that? Oh, what, a Commander truck or something. But it looked like an S10, but it had they were driving over like other vehicles. That's why I said like a junkyard. They were driving over like the top of vehicles to like chase me and this little boy. It was so strange. But they were like, he shot off a gun, he would like, like shot off this gun, and like one of them was like, yeah, and like, was like chasing after us like full force, man. And like, I just remember in the dream, like us running, me and this little boy, and then like looking back, and they were like right behind us, I don't know what happened. Like that was the end of the dream. Like the dream was so long. It was so weird. But it's strange that the end of the dream has been like in my mind's forefront for the past few days. Obviously it's important. Like I never have dreams. It's so rare. I mean, I can have like one a year, or like none for a whole year. I mean, if I do, I don't recall them. Um, but the dreams I do have are so significant and so like important. That's how I know that like there's something about the end of this dream that does matter. Were we captured, me and this little boy? I don't know. I don't even know what happened, but I don't know what the significance is to the dream yet. But just feeling the full panic of like me and this boy trying to escape these hillbillies or whoever it is in this truck, um, kind of scary, you know? Like the more I think about like all the stuff that's happened like in the past like 10 years, like drones following me, and I have it on video. And I mean, like I've questioned this myself, right? It sounds so kooky. I mean, if you don't believe it, then go on your way. I know that I'm sound minded, okay, because I test everything that I see to verify to myself before I even confirm, like, okay, that's what it is. And I also get, confirmation through prayer. And then the Lord shows me another confirmation just to let me know, like, hey, this is what it is, and that's why it's taken me years to come to terms of whatever is going on. It's bigger than I know. It's not just some small thing. I think it's because I changed things in my life and like awoke to just I awoke to something that caused this like surrounding to occur, right? But like I literally had tested, I remember I was at work. This is the first thing I remember of happening. It was like 2020 or 2021. Like, no crap. I had a drone follow me home from work, and I thought, oh, it was the airport. I just, like, chalked it up as nothing. I have it on video. Like, I was driving, I stopped. The drone stopped. I drove, the drone was following. Every movement my car made, it made the same movement. Okay, and that's happened several times since then. I would drive somewhere, and literally something is following me in the sky. And I would stop, and it would stop dead in its tracks. I mean, it was mirroring exactly what my car was doing. Okay? So, it is what it is. My surrounding environment proves what is going on. My, remembrance of everything is also proving it. The Lord is proving it. And the fact that I'm being protected divinely and obviously by hidden helpers, which, thank you for that. Um, you know, that just proves that it's something bigger than what I can even comprehend. Okay. So, yeah, there's just something. It's just, I don't know. It's just something is like coming out. I don't know what it is. It's like something is just trying to come out. I don't know what the holdup is. You know, I can't really say. Like, I can't make stuff occur, you know, like for me to get visions or anything. It just happens, you know. But me seeing like that fire in my vision, and I talked about this on a video, I was literally immersed in a fire while I was standing in my kitchen. And what I smelled and everything, it was almost like, I don't know if that was a past event where I was in some type of a fiery situation. Was that like a remembrance of a past life of like, you know, I don't know. All I know is like all this stuff is connected, and it has taken me so long to just piece together this because it is very profound. It's hurtful. It's especially when no one helps you. Like no one in your family will give you one tidbit or tad bit of information. No one knows anything, right? It's like, okay, well, everyone can ignore what I have said in the past. That's why I just gave up on it. I don't like there's no reason to talk to anybody in my family about it because nobody knows anything, right? Which is ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense. But I know for a fact there's something. I get confirmations. And so if everyone wants to just keep themselves quiet about it, that's fine. You know, you will have no connection with me in the future. I'm telling you that right now. Because I have forgiven the events I have recollected to this point. Because if I hold grudges, that's only going to hold me back, right? I've learned that. And it's taken a long time to get to this point. But it's just like something, it's like a cord, a cord of some sort was broken. I remember the day it happened. I felt it. Okay, my whole body felt different. There was a relief. There was like a freeing feeling of like something that was like connected energetically that I couldn't see, but it was there all my life. And the day that it broke, because the Lord showed me how to do it, okay? I mean, I would have never known any of this stuff if He did not show me. But I finally broke that cord, and to see the effects that it could have had on people that I know, it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, is it a coincidence, Lord, that this person is now having an issue? Because if you break an energetic cord like that to somebody, they feel it, right? They could have an effect. If it's just like a friendship, it's just, you know, maybe a grieving of the friendship. But if it's a lifelong cord, if there's a deeper meaning to the cord, right? Which the Lord is still teaching me about this stuff, so I don't know everything, but then there could be deeper repercussions to the person that is disconnected from the cord. Obviously, my conclusion and result of the cord being broken was me feeling free. I cried my eyes out. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I felt like I was lifted out of like a grave or something. It was so weird. But I also noticed repercussions or like changes of people that are close to me, like just a select few people, you know. I don't know. It just is odd. It almost feels weird to even talk about this because this is stuff I literally keep to myself. Like things I just notice or encounter. I don't ever talk about any of this, but the Lord is pushing me to do it because this is so big. It's not just about me. I guarantee you, like, I'm not the only one in life that has had this or has been, veiled by stuff like this. I just happen to be protected and awoke at this point, and that's why it's coming to the forefront and I'm seeing clarity on it. It may sound a little bit out there, okay? Like I said, it's my channel, my opinions, my perspective, and my experience, so you don't have to agree with it. You can listen to it, whatever. But if you don't, then just go on your way. Like, it doesn't bug me. The channel is not for you. It's literally my guidance given from God, my instructions from Him. This is what I'm doing, right? I'm supposed to talk about this, whatever He tells me to. So, the dream, the stalking I've had, the mail theft, Okay, the drones, people being into my house. There was something put into my drink. I was deathly ill. I actually looked at my notes. I should get my book and read it one day, but I was like writing down in 22 like how sick I was. It was not sick. It was just like my stomach was hurting so bad for like 6 months. I could not figure it out. And thank God that he guided me to the diagnosis of what it was. Okay, he literally, I love the Lord. He literally was giving me information. I diagnosed it myself. It wasn't anything bad. It was just like, there was something that someone had put in my drink that caused me to have a stomach issue, right? And he guided me to that, what to do to resolve it. I did that. I mean, it is totally fine. Thank gosh for the guidance I listened to, because I would have never known that. I mean, yeah, I could have went to the doctor and paid hundreds of dollars to have it resolved. But why? When the Lord showed me exactly what it was. It took 6 months to get over that, okay? But all I'm saying is no normal person is just going to have all of this stuff done to them. Okay, that's what I said. Yesterday, I was getting a download about forbidden fruit. It just makes me think that there's obviously something going on, because no one's going to target just some normal person. Okay, and like I said, I've been going through spiritual warfare my whole life. I had a vision of a baby. Okay, like it wasn't a baby. It was a little kid. They couldn't even walk. Okay, of something that happened. I have a video on that. I already posted it. Like as I feel comfortable or God leads me to like talk about these things, I post it. But it's kind of scary when you think about it. Like in a sense, it's like it's almost like there's no way. Like sometimes I go back to that. Like what? Like what the hell? You know what I mean? Like the best thing that comforts me is knowing that the Lord is guiding me. He's showing me things. He's bringing stuff to my forefront. He's giving me awareness and clarity. He's showing me the intentions of people and letting me see like through stuff, which is really cool, but it also can be really scary when you're like, oh my gosh. Sometimes seeing stuff for what it is lets you know like what you thought life was, or like what things were, wasn't that at all. It's like a Truman Show in a sense, where you're obviously being watched or whatever all this time. But when you start understanding what it is, then you get targeted even more, which is what all this stuff has happened, and like being followed and like in my house and all that stuff, right? It's the craziest thing. It's like there was, and then like words just keep popping up. It's like arranged marriage or something, but like I've never even been married, right? So obviously it was like a time I don't even know, or there was some cord, there was some kind of a cord or something like connected to somebody that I broke free. That's how all this has occurred and has come to the light, okay? Like I would never make up anything. Everything I say is from my experience or my dreams or what God gives me. It literally is what it is. I'm just grateful and thankful every day for the protection I have from above and from all of the spirits, my spirit team, okay, my ancestors, and any angel that I have that protects me from this, right? Keeps me shielded, gives me notice before the fact, right? And I feel blessed for that, because if not, I can only imagine the amount of people that have not survived something like this. I'm not kidding. I can only imagine. It blows me away to think like, what the heck, man? Like somehow I just see it before, and that keeps me protected. But it just hurts my soul and heart to think of the ones that didn't have that, or they didn't see through, they weren't as fortunate. So, I love the Lord, and I'm going to stay as close to him as I possibly can, because he's the one thing that has really given me clarity, because the people you would think closest to you that you ask or whatever, they just don't know anything, So, I don't know. It does take me back to another thing about Kansas. A girl named Kathleen MacArthur or something I won a trip, right? It was like me and my sister. It was like 15 years ago, maybe, I don't know, even longer. But we won a trip from Marlboro, okay, if anyone's done that. But they take you to like this ranch in Montana, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there was a girl there that I met in college, her and her boyfriend, and her name was Kathleen MacArthur. She was from Kansas. She was going to Kansas University. I may not have anything to do with it, but it's funny that my dream was from Kansas, you know? I didn't know her. I've never seen her before. My sister didn't know her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying it's connected, but I'm just saying it's interesting. It's like everything is orchestrated in a sense. It's so weird. It's like, yeah, I'm ready for that to be over. You know? Like, why be on a Truman Show? That's ridiculous. Um, yeah. That's why I said there's a shift happening. And I am saying to all demons, stand down. I'm ordering you to stand down. With the power that I have from the Lord, stand down. Okay? Yeah. So, I love you guys. I appreciate anyone that's helping me behind the scenes that I'm not even aware of. I really do. Thank you. So, have a good day. Appreciate you. God bless. Because nothing happens without the Lord. Right?